Hey Facebook friends, happy Thursday. Tomorrow's a big day because tomorrow is Naomi's regionals. So you're probably not going to see a ton of me on social media tomorrow outside of Naomi's matches, which fingers crossed she does well and then makes it to state next Thursday. She was actually in the news yesterday again with her team because Doherty girls are doing pretty awesome. And so the news went out there and interviewed a couple of the gals again. But I wanted to jump on here because it's been a really busy day and I've been reflecting on some conversations, both on the health coaching side of what we do with clients, as well as the business building side that we do with some of the coaching partners that we partner with. And as I hear conversations that happen, there seems to be a theme sometimes. And the theme is that we love to lie to ourselves. And a lot of times we lie to ourselves to make us feel better and make us real comfortable in the situation, right? Because at the end of the day, none of us want to be uncomfortable because uncomfortable is not fun. Our brains are really wired to keep us safe per se. And sometimes keeping us safe means that we tell ourselves stories to make us feel good or more accomplished. And so as it ties to our health, I'll hear things like, Cindy, I can't lose weight, I'm big boned. We know being big boned isn't a thing, right? Like we are all structurally built the same. I shared a post, I don't know, probably a few months ago of a DEXA scan that shows literally our bone structure of someone who's overweight and someone's not overweight. And the bone structure is the same. It's really just everything else around the bone structure. But we tell ourselves that to make us feel a little bit better, to basically think of an excuse as to why we're overweight. So I hear I'm big boned, I can't lose weight. It's genetics, I can't lose weight. I'll hear things like, I don't know why I'm not losing weight. Like I eat healthy. And some people lie to themselves about their eating habits because either they're completely, I don't even know the word that I want to use because I think there are some folks that don't even recognize how bad their eating habits are, but they've never really had that self-reflection to really sit down and think of, okay, what is it that I'm eating that's causing me to not lose weight? But people will blame it on genetics all the time. Oh, Adriana, hi, I can't wait to chat with you next Wednesday. But that's the reality of it, is we want to make ourselves comfortable and tell ourselves lies all the time as to why we can't do things. And most of the time it's excuses, right? Big bones, genetics, I eat healthy, but there's something wrong internally that doesn't let me lose weight. Like all these reasons why. And it's these stories that we share in our heads that we want to believe. And it goes to like the business side of things too. Like as Andrew and I partner with people to help them build their business, it's the same thing. Like sometimes we have to ask some really hard questions. Like, are you putting the time into your business that you need to be putting into your business? And every now and again, someone will say yes. And then a few months later, they'll admit like, okay, no, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. But it's just another lie. And it's so that either maybe they don't want to be judged by folks or feel guilty for something they did or didn't do. But at the end of the day, you're only harming yourself if you keep telling yourself these lies to keep yourself safe. The only way you're ever going to have a breakthrough in any place in your life, whether health-wise, career-wise, relationship-wise, is when you recognize and can do some self-reflection and realize the core of the issue. It's not fun. It's not like this, cozy feeling to work through those emotions and feelings and kind of realize that, crap, like this whole time I was my own worst enemy. I was the one holding myself back from the things I wanted to accomplish. That's not a fun thing to admit. However, the sooner you could admit that and recognize like, okay, I wasn't giving 100%, or okay, I was kind of following the program, or I was kind of eating healthy, but I didn't tell you about the Doritos that I would eat, every single night. Whatever your story is, all of our stories are a little bit different. But once you realize, okay, it's me and it has been me the whole time, that's when you can make the change. Because the only way the change happens is when you recognize there's a problem, right? It kind of goes for like any other type of addiction. And food's an addiction like any other, whether you want to believe it or not. You've probably heard me share that before. It's probably worse than most addictions because you can't give it up cold turkey. But anyone, maybe you have addicts in your life, right? I know I do. And they will even tell you, like, until I was ready to acknowledge that I had an issue, I could never fix the problem. So that applies to all of us in every aspect of our life. Quit telling yourself lies to keep yourself safe or to make yourself feel better, because you're not having breakthroughs. You're not going to build a business that way if you're telling yourself you're doing the work that you know you're not really doing. You're not going to get healthy if you tell yourself that you're big boned or it's genetics and you're not following the system or whatever program it is that you're following. It's just not going to happen. We have to be honest with ourselves. And our program comes with a life book that makes us do some of that real hard mental push-up work that makes us self-reflect. And that's the only way that change happens. So if you guys are stuck kind of in that limbo area where maybe you have been lying to yourself about certain things and making excuses as to why you can't do X, Y, and Z, just know that it doesn't have to be that way. But I want you guys to take inventory of those lies. Like, what are those things that you tell yourself that you, like, deep down in your heart just know you're telling a lie about, but you're afraid to uncover it because that means you have to admit that maybe you're doing something wrong. We've all been there. We're human, right? Like, we make mistakes. That's just, it's natural. We're not perfect. Anyone who's going for perfectionism, good luck. Let me know when you get there. It's not really a thing, but that's okay. It's not really what we're aiming for. We're just trying to get better every single day. So if it's something that you guys struggle with, I'd love to chat with you about it. But that was pretty heavy on my heart as I heard some conversations today. And the more I recognize it, the more I do my own self-work and recognize the excuses I tell myself, right? Like today, I was telling Andrew at dinner time or right after dinner, I'm like, man, I could really use a coffee today. And he's like, do you want me to go pick you up one? Because I don't have any sweet and low in the house or the coffee I like. And I said, no, I don't need it, right? Like I could have told him easily, yes, I need the coffee, go get it. But that would have just been a lie. I don't need the coffee. I just wanted the coffee, which today is day 2 and I'm doing really well. T's my best friend this week. So there's my food for thought. What are those lies that you are sharing or telling yourself that we know truly are lies? Take an inventory. Is it school? Sorry, I was getting a Facebook message call. Is it schoolwork? Is it your career? Is it your health? What is it that you're telling yourself that you need to be telling a different story and recognizing that you have total control to fix the issue as long as you work on it? All right, there's my nuggets. Have a great rest of the week, you guys. Cheer for Naomi tomorrow as she goes into regionals. Pray for no injuries and that she does really well and hopefully makes it to state next week. That's her goal. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night and we will chat later.